of the people in the audience, how many people have anything like a stream, whether it's a stream that flows all the time or sometimes on their property? Okay, and how many people have a wetland of some sort on their property? Yeah, probably more have some sort of wetland, whether it's a seasonal wetland or year-round. As Gretchen talked about before, there are lots of different types of stream and wetland habitats in Hyde Park. This is a picture of the Fallkill Creek. Does anyone live near a creek as large as this in Hyde Park? Okay. But a lot of people have smaller streams or creeks near their houses. And the thing is that it really doesn't matter whether it's a big stream or a small stream. They all run together, and all the water quality depends on the land use on all those small tributaries throughout the town and beyond the town. So even if you have a stream that's a small stream that doesn't run all year, it's still valuable, and what happens near the banks of it do matter to the water downstream. So what I really wanted to talk about was buffer zones. I'm going to refer to streams, but the same thing goes for wetlands also. And the buffer zones are the area adjacent to a stream. Buffer is kind of a bad term because it makes it sound like some kind of bonus or extra or, take it or leave it. But buffers are really an integral part of wetland and stream systems. Without the buffer, the stream doesn't really work right. So this picture, I love this picture. Thanks, Mike, for this picture, because it really helps to demonstrate the way that stream buffers work. So a few things to point out in this picture. One is the roots of these trees and shrubs and plants around this stream. Those roots are holding that soil in place. So am I too close or something?
No,
all right.
Point things out.
Okay, thank you.
It's
that button?
One's a flashlight, one's a laser. You'll see quickly.
Okay, there are the roots below the tree. So those are very valuable for holding the soil in place in a storm. The other thing that buffers do is they provide filtration for runoff. So you got a driveway over here. Say there's some oil that drips or something that something from that driveway. This buffer provides some filtration for that runoff before it gets to the stream to keep the water clean. Another thing you'll notice about this stream is that it has access to its floodplain. A forested stream like this that has access to its floodplain, flooding is a natural part of a stream's life cycle. Streams move, streams flood. They don't just stay in the same place all the time. They regularly flood, and they regularly change course also. So leaving a nice wide buffer like this allows the stream to access its floodplain and meander over time. And that keeps things in check, so that if the stream does not have access to its floodplain, then when there's a big storm, the water just quickly moves downstream and floods somebody else. So if the stream has adequate access to its floodplain throughout its reach, it helps to keep stormwater in check. Another thing you'll notice is these trees overhanging the stream. Those trees do a few things. One thing they do that's really important is they cool the water. Without the trees there, stream temperatures fluctuate a lot, and that is a real problem for fish and wildlife in the stream. The other thing that those overhanging trees do is they provide leaf litter and branches that fall into the water, and that's important for habitat for fish and invertebrates and such. The biologists here are going to call me out for the things I'm saying wrong, but I used to be a stream program manager, so this I understand, but the biology a little bit beyond me. So a couple things when we're thinking about wildlife habitat with streams. One is that there are two aspects of wildlife to think about. One is the wildlife that actually live right here near the stream. Streams and wetlands are really like the cafeterias and the nurseries of the forest. That's where everybody kind of comes to eat and lay their eggs, and all kinds of things go on in streams. So that's really important. But the other thing to think about is that is the water quality, not only on site but downstream. So what you do on your property impacts water quality that impacts the entire reach of the stream. Okay, so can we flip to the next slide? So I just wanted to talk quickly about how to care for stream buffers. If they're forested, leave them alone. That's the best possible situation you have if your buffer is already forested. If the stream bank has been mowed up to the stream, think about whether maybe you can let some of that area along the stream bank grow up into native plants. You really don't have to do anything except stop mowing, and it'll just grow up. I mean, if you have a problem situation where it's really eroding, you can consider planting something, look for native plants if possible, willows, dogwoods, things like that. The Soil and Water Conservation District does have an annual tree and shrub sale where you can get bulk quantities of inexpensive seedlings, but do look for native ones because they're not all native. Really, it's easy to take care of a buffer. I could have just left this all in one statement, just leave it alone if you can. Don't put anything into the stream or the buffer, and don't take anything out of it, except taking out trash or invasive species. But not putting anything in includes organics like lawn clippings and things like that, because introducing that organic matter into the stream can be a problem for water quality. Don't change the course of a stream or try to keep the stream from changing its course naturally. Like I said before, streams do meander over time. And maintain your septic system. That's sort of, doesn't seem to go with the others, right? But your septic system is one of the main, can in some cases, especially with the gravelly soil around here, Russell's smiling at me, can be one of the main sources of pollution in this area. So what happens in your septic system can impact your stream. I also, as far as another question that always comes up with buffers is how wide? Really, it depends on the situation and on your goals. You really need about a 100-foot buffer for that for the water quality filtration functions of a buffer. You need a lot more for wildlife. But a lot of people here have small lots, so that's okay. You can't do 100 feet. You can do what you can with the lot that you have. It really all depends on your situation. But the wider, the better as far as how wide. I will mention that the town of Hyde Park has a water resources protection law that was put in place last year by the town board that regulates a 100-foot buffer so that in the future new buildings won't be built closer than 100 feet to streams and wetlands. And I just wanted to mention that because the new town board is taking another look at that law and reconsidering it, and they've said that they do want input from the public as to whether that law is working or whether it needs to be changed. And there will be a public hearing on January 25th. So if you're interested in that, please do come out. Can you flip to the next slide? And these are going to be real quick, but I just wanted to mention that in Hyde Park we've been doing some stream buffer plantings, and I love these projects, so indulge me for a minute. This is Dinsmore Park in Hyde Park, up in Statsburg, and in this area the field had been mowed right up to the edge of this stream, and you can see the erosion that resulted because there were no tree roots to hold that stream bank in place. So we worked with the Trees for Tribs program through the Hudson River Estuary program. They did some bioengineering here where they put in some willow cuttings to grow up and stabilize that stream bank. And if you flip to the next slide. And then we had all these great volunteers come out and plant trees and shrubs along the bank and ask the recreation department to just stop mowing that close to this, in that area, and it's growing up into a beautiful natural stream buffer. So I enjoy doing those projects, and we do them usually every year. So if you leave us your email address, I'll keep you informed as to when we do those again. And that's just my contact information. Please do let me know if there are questions.